This teenage boy killed his mother and his little sister, then calmly picked up the phone and called 911 to confess.
What's the emergency?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
What?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
You just killed your mother and your sister? How did you do that?
Pretty, I guess, evil.
So that voice belonged to 70-year-old Jake Evers. Jake was the only son born to his parents, Daryl and Jamie Evers. He had two older sisters, Emily and Audrey, and a younger sister named Mallory. From an outsider's perspective, the Evans family appeared to be living the American dream, presenting a picture of stability and peacefulness. They were very wealthy. They lived in Aledo, Texas, just outside Fort Worth, in a large, beautiful home located inside a gated community. The house sat on 2 acres of land and included a swimming pool and even a home theater. Okay guys, if today is your first time of coming across my channel, you are highly welcome. Please like, subscribe, and do not forget to turn on your notification so that you don't miss any of our upcoming posts. Jake grew up extremely privileged. He never lacked anything, and by all accounts, his childhood was happy and stable. People who knew Jake said he was quiet and kind, with no history of violence and no reputation as a troublemaker. There were no disciplinary issues or signs of pressure, nothing that suggested what was to come. Things began to change during his second year of high school. Around that time, Jake began having extremely disturbing thoughts that didn't match who people believed him to be. He became fascinated with death and violence, and he developed an intense obsession with horror movies, especially the Halloween franchise. More specifically, Jake became obsessed with the fictional killer Michael Myers. What fascinated him wasn't just the violence, but the idea of someone who could kill without remorse. Someone who felt nothing, even as a child, capable of murdering his own sister. By 2012, Jake's two older sisters were already out of the house. Emily was married and had a toddler of her own. Audrey was away at college, leaving just Jake and his younger sister Mallory at home with their parents. Around this same time, both Jake and Mallory were pulled out of public school and began homeschooling. Their mother, Jamie, took on the role of teacher. From the outside, the Evans family still looked perfect, but beneath the surface, things were beginning to crack. To everyone else, nothing seemed wrong, but inside, Jake was changing. Jake later said that he became disgusted with society. He hated how people treated each other. He hated bullies. He especially hated racism, and he believed people were cruel, selfish, and emotionally abusive towards one another. And over time, Jake claimed that he began seeing those same traits in his own family. This is important to be clear about. These are Jake's claims. There was no evidence that his family was abusive or dangerous, but in Jake's mind, they represented everything he hated. As this thought intensified, Jake's fantasies became darker. He began imagining what it would feel to kill someone. He wondered if it would make him feel powerful, if it would make him feel free. Like he wanted to know what it felt like to kill without remorse, just like Michael Myers. Eventually, those fantasies turned into blood. By the fall of 2012, 17-year-old Jake Evans had decided that he was going to kill his entire family. October 3rd, 2012 gave him the opportunity he was waiting for. Jake's father was out of town on a business trip. That meant the only people in the house were Jake, his mother Jamie, and his 15-year-old sister Mallory. Jake's plans was detailed and planned out. He planned to kill his mother and his sister first, then he would walk across the street to his grandparents' house and murder both of them. After that, he intended to go to his older sister's Emily home and kill her as well. Finally, he planned to wait until the next day when his other sister Audrey was scheduled to return home from college so he could kill her too. All of this was supposed to happen within 24 hours. Earlier that day, Jake had an appointment with his allergist. Afterward, Jake, his mother, and Mallory went out to lunch together. Jake later claimed that while they were out, Mallory made a racist comment about a black man they saw walking in his yard. Jake confronted her about it, and the situation quickly escalated into a heated argument. When they got home later that afternoon, Mallory asked Jake if he wanted to watch a movie with her. Jake refused. He was still angry, still replaying the argument in his head. Instead, he went up to his bedroom and watched Halloween for the third time that week. At some point, Jake went and grabbed one of his father's knives. His original plan was to kill Mallory with it, and he admitted that he wanted to cause her as much pain as possible. But then he changed his mind. He still wanted to kill his sister, but not in that way. So Jake went back downstairs and asked Mallory if she wanted to watch a movie together after all. They sat next to each other in the home theater and watched the waterboard. While the movie played, while Mallory laughing beside him, Jake was silently planning how he would kill her later that night. When the movie ended, Mallory went upstairs to her bedroom and locked the door. Jake retrieved a 22 caliber revolver and tried to get into her room, but the door wouldn't open. So he lied. He told Mallory that their mom wanted to speak with her. When she opened the door, Jake was standing there with the gun pointed directly at her face. Mallory laughed. She thought her brother was joking. Jake pulled the trigger. He shot his 15-year-old sister in the head and again in the back. Her body tumbled down the stairs. Without hesitation, Jake ran to the study where his mother, Jamie, was working. He shot her multiple times. It was only after this that the reality hit him. Jake didn't feel powerful. He didn't feel relief. He didn't feel like Michael Myers. Instead, he completely broke down. He began screaming, crying, panicking, and yelled about how messed up he was. He was terrified by what he had just done. Then he had movement. Mallory was still alive. Instead of calling for help, Jake ran to her. He was crying, apologizing, telling her to hold still, and then he shot her again, this time making sure that she's dead. After that, Jake picked up the phone and called 911.
I just killed my mom and my sister.
What?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
You just killed your mother and your sister? How did you do that?
I shot him with a 22 revolver.
And what is your name?
Jake Evans.
Are you sure they're dead?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, how old are you?
17.
Okay, do you, is there any reason that you were so angry at your mother and your sister?
I don't know. I wasn't. It's weird. I wasn't even really angry with them. It just kind of happened. I've been kind of planning on.
During the call, he calmly explained everything he had done. He admitted that he had been planning to kill for a long time, that he didn't like people. He said he felt suffocated by his family, and he said, "I guess I'm pretty evil." When officers arrived, Jake did not resist. He was arrested without incident. Jake was later found incompetent to stand trial and spent 2 years in a psychiatric facility before being deemed competent. At his trial in April of 2015, Jake pled guilty to 2 counts of capital murder. Because he was a minor at the time of the killings, the death penalty and life without parole were ruled unconstitutional. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive 45-year sentences, with the possibility of parole after 22 years. If parole is denied, Jake Evans will be released in 2057. Since then, Jake has expressed remorse and apologized to his family and community. This case shocked Jake's family, his community, and people around the world. How does a quiet, privileged teenager with no history of violence commit something so horrific? Some people blamed violent media, others say the signs were there but unnoticed. There's no single answer, but what we do know is this: Jamie and Mallory Evans lost their lives, and nothing can undo that. And as always, be a good human to other humans. See you guys in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.